Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
I don't have to do anything anymore.
Your computer learned to go around you.
Yeah, that's a good thing for. They should do more of that. You know, I think like if computers could be used to make daily life easier, they worked on it.
They really should.
Like a save timer.
It should be more. It should be more than just Space Invaders and.
Yeah, you don't have to have it just to be Pong.
Right.
That's the only one I could think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I use it as I think it would be a great Magic 8 Ball. I think people would pay a lot of money if you had a computer Magic 8 Ball.
I think they would.
That'd be good?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't feel like I don't feel like you're fully engaged yet.
What? I don't think I'm unengaged. It could be your thinking that there was more to my personality than there was. That could be it.
I could have piled
that could very well be
a bunch of expectations and wishes.
Well, I'm certainly I've taken a lot of courses in listening.
Yeah. Did you finish? Did you finish any of them?
Huh? You think the follow up is as funny? No, but it's not bad.
Huh?
Right?
Huh?
It's not bad.
Huh?
I returned the car on Saturday morning, and I spoke to you on Saturday morning, and that's all I've. And
that's
otherwise,
that's the last thing you did was returning the car.
Well, no, we've we've been having our whole building. I mean, this is a great story. Our whole building was.
You're doing drills of some kind.
No drills, but our whole building has. We had a bulk deal with. What is the name? Spectrum. Which is a great. Let me say right now, the one thing I love about Spectrum is that it all works as a seamless whole. It's not at all like if they switch you over to another department that they don't even know what company they're with. That's not what it's like.
Yeah.
So they all had deals. So we had 16 units. Everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. We have 35 units. See, I'm trying to throw people off. And so we all had a bulk deal with them, but it did nothing. I don't even know what the special deal would have been, but we were spending See, Susan came in and cleaned up the whole situation here.
Yeah.
And so.
I don't understand a single thing about it, despite being a minute and a half deep into this.
Okay. Well, let me explain it this way. They go, hey, if your whole building gets together, we'll get you a deal. So there was a deal in place.
All right,
but it meant
part.
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. So each person was putting $25 or $50 into some ridiculous deal. So now that it's all separated, I really don't have any cable now. It'll switch over hopefully will switch over to tomorrow unless I can try and get them to do it today somehow. But they don't like to do things.
Yeah.
And I know I'm kind of like, they are my bête noire in a way, that company, because there's something about them that bothers me, but how far can you get into it? It's just another faceless company, I guess.
They are. And I've actually had better luck with them than previous companies who service the area.
The thing that they do, which is no fees, that's good. They don't charge you a 2-year thing.
No, they charge, but they charge a lot of money. But in fact, my customer service experience with them, like, hey, it's broken, can you fix it, has been pretty good.
That's great. You should probably film that. No. Well, you find individual people. What I'm finding mostly is that you find individual people at companies who are, many people are nice.
Right.
But it's interesting or not interesting, but it's like with the computer thing. It's not making things easier. And also, there really does feel like there's a monopoly. There's still like a leftover monopoly. Maybe there is still a monopoly. Why do I have an alarm clock set now? Oh, because originally that might have been the one that got me up, right? Because originally we were going to go on at 11:30. Okay.
And you were going to wake up at 11:05 for an 11:30. There's no way you were going to make that, Andy. There's no way.
No. I'm very disappointed in you that you would not figure out that that's not anywhere even close to the first alarm. The first alarm goes off at 10:30.
Really?
10:30, 10:35, 10:40, 10:45, 10:50, 10:51. And then I stop it around 11:05, but I still go, maybe in the worst case scenario, you would get up then.
Right. And is it literally, are you snoozing, or are we talking literally you have 5 alarms set to wake up?
No, I always usually get up by the first alarm. All of the stuff that's based on OCD is, I'm so scared to miss things. I don't even usually probably sleep that well.
Yeah.
That's gotten a little bit better over the years, but for a lot of times, if I had something at 6 a.m, I couldn't sleep. But these are all things that you should be able to work on.
Right.
You know.
Can you hold on 1 minute? I don't think, unlike Lucky, Clyde doesn't understand the whole podcast thing, and I think he has to go outside. So, hold on 1 second.
Oh.
Can you just hold on 1 minute?
No, sure.
Okay. Boom. Sorry about that.
No worries, no worries. Okay, I forgot what we're talking about, but we never really are on a roll.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Partially.
No, we never really are on a roll.
We don't get on, hey, I got something to tell you, roll.
No, there's no actual need for the conversation, really, is the point.
Of the whole show?
It turns out.
Well, you have any ideas of spicing it up?
I was thinking of just changing the title to Talking to Talk.
Oh my God, there's a lot. I have a feeling there's a lot of stuff going on below the surface.
No, there's actually no.
Maybe there's nothing.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing.
Okay,
There's no.
that's good.
That's
good to know.
This is not passive aggression. This is just trying to get banter going.
All right. Okay, so if we're not going to talk just to talk, I don't know if we have to talk about.
I'm saying that is what we do. I'm not saying we should avoid that.
No,
I'm saying that's all we got.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
Don't pretend as if we have topics,
right,
and headings,
right,
and departments.
Exactly.
Right. We ourselves said what the show was before it started. It was Thought Spiral.
Yeah. No, I don't think we have to defend it.
We never said.
Is that a smoothie you got there today?
This is iced coffee.
Ah, okay. Sorry. It looked more yellow in the light.
Well, do you think I would drink a smoothie during the show, knowing that you're going to comment on it? I mean,
I commented on coffee. Look what.
Well, if I could have made it looked
very mango colored in the first viewing, but now
if I could have made it a cup of coffee that didn't draw attention, that you wouldn't have made the comment.
I'm sorry. The fact that you're
it's not the comment.
The fact that you're castigating me for making a comment about something superfluous.
No, that's how I'm castigating you.
Really burns me. Let me just.
So that's not what I'm castigating you for.
Okay.
I'm not even castigating you. What I'm saying is I know you. So if I
would hope so. But okay.
Right. So if I started to either do anything out of the ordinary, you would comment on it, and rightfully so. If I started to toast marshmallows, so I try to do things that aren't going to bring your comments,
right,
unless I think it's hilarious.
But I would say in this case, I would not have commented about an innocuous sip of coffee had I realized it was coffee.
Exactly.
When I
thought it was some crazy drink.
It looked like a dreamsicle in a cup to me.
That's a great line from Jason Isbell song, Dreamsicle. All right, but again, that's the type of thing that doesn't work. The other thing usually does work.
It totally does. It's gold.
It is gold?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can I say it again? Do you want me to clean?
Please.
Dreamsicle is a great line. I don't know if you're aware of this with a fake voice or more of a real voice.
No, I think go natural with it. We can always.
65 degrees downtown Los Angeles. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Jason Isbell has a great song where he goes dreamsicle on a Sunday evening on a folding lawn chair. And I really like that message. And I like the symbol. Hey, today, if you're don't they have something funny they try to say after it that's always bad? Hey, I'd like a dreamsicle.
Yeah, they always do that.
Well, actually, I think less and less do they do any talking at all on any of the Quiet Storms or the.
All right.
I did notice what you said was true. The 80s and the 90s. Susan didn't notice it until I pointed it out. It's not the 50s, 60s. You're not going to hear boo 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 no more. Will you hear that song? It's the 80s. The 80s to me have just happened. I'm still recovering from them. I don't.
I know. It's hard. It's hard to adjust.
Are you telling me you can't even play Rock Around the Clock, which some people misidentify as the first?
Blue moon, blue moon, blue moon. Dip 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 blue blue moon, blue moon. Dip 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 bob da bob da bob da bob bob da bob da bob dag 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 ding dong ding.
Bing 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 bang bing bing. I thought you were going to keep going.
No, I wanted you to though.
That's my.
You don't hear that.
Bowser.
You don't hear that anymore. Is our point.
You don't? I think people don't even know. They have to be able to go.
Like the oldest thing you'll hear now on the oldies was, take this message to my brother.
It's true.
How are you?
They're going to say that's timeless.
Yes.
That's what they're going to say. That's timeless. But they won't say Teen Angel.
No, the one thing
Angel?
you do hear every 5 minutes, I found, at least on K-Earth, is Dream On by Aerosmith. For some reason, it is the heaviest rotated song I've ever
How does that go? Dream Mother and Bubba, what you gonna go but to the bing bang banga. That's not it, right?
Dream on, dream on.
Oh, that is what
Dream on, dream until your dreams come true. Oh,
I have now thought of that as not even a song. I always think of that just a. There's a time period where Born to Be Wild would still get me going.
Really?
I bet you don't hear Born to Be Wild, right?
You do not on K-Earth anymore.
Listen for the running. It's a little Jim Morrison. Get out on the highway.
It's get your motor running is the word.
You want to try it again?
Yeah, sure.
Get your ketchup going. Or you better get the ketchup going. I'm not going to do it. I won't make it that bad where you take the words directly to a bad parody. I won't do that.
Okay.
Get your motor running. Okay, let me see if I can get one. Out there on the highway, looking for adventure. That one's good.
Uh-huh.
And whatever comes my way. And now this part I know for sure. Hey, mama, would you give me my coffee? I'm trying to get the car started today. I think you left the keys in the apartment. Hey, baby, what can I say?
That's not fair. You have the lyrics up on screen.
And like a true nature's child, you were born to be wild. You could yell so loud that you could really be, ooh. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Who was that group?
Steppenwolf.
I always think Steppenwolf had a lot of songs, but they didn't, right?
They did, just none you've heard of.
So they really were one-hit wonder?
I don't know. I think they did have more than one, but
Yeah. That was
the winner. That was the breadwinner.
That song made me wanted to ride a motorcycle.
Sing that song.
I wanted to ride a motorcycle, but only as a kid. I didn't even realize. It never occurred to me later. It just always sounded
I still
dangerous.
get twinges of it, but
Oh, you had a bike, right?
I never had a bike, but I had loaner bikes. I had bikes stored that I rode.
Oh man! And did you ever have any spills?
No, but it was only a matter of time.
It is, right? Because there's a rock out there, there's a road out there, and there's a bump.
But now that I'm going back to Pilates, and
you don't want to do that.
It's only like a mile and a half away.
But let's take a guy like Rick Overton.
Okay.
He's been motorcycling forever. Right. I would like to know.
And he's barely aware of his surroundings when he's on his 2 feet. So.
Yeah, I always think of him as not being the person you think of as a motorcyclist. Dylan was too.
Yeah, that worked out well.
Yeah. It really does. It's something that
I'm not really thinking of a motorcycle, but I'm thinking of some other sort of like an electric moped is what I have a sort of fantasy of.
Yes.
Something that's good. Something that's good for within the 2 mile jaunt, where it's not,
right. Oh, are you thinking about something other than the one you had?
Yes. That's too little for anything.
Oh, my friend Jack has one of those motorized bicycles.
Yeah.
Those are good, I think.
Those are good. It's a little too bicycle-like for me, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, well, have you looked around? Let me know what you see.
I have looked around just out of a whim, but it's not going to happen. It's not something I'm not going to pull the trigger on it, I don't think.
Well, how are you going to get there then? The old way?
The old car of mine. It's about 2 miles. I guess it's about 2 miles away.
Oh, so you're definitely giving up on the way you used to go.
Yeah.
You never went there this way, right?
No, different place now. Same
okay.
person, different location.
Oh, well, maybe maybe who knows?
I'm just looking for a little something to spice up my life right now, Andy.
Like Pilates?
Well, that's no, that's more of that's a different strategy.
You have to do it.
No,
Like
it's
me?
no, it's I don't know. Whenever my whole thing in life is move forward on some level.
Oh.
And since I'm not really creatively spinning my wheels properly right now, I'm like, all right.
Right.
Physically, you can at least get stronger and better.
It's not a rat. I'm
Trying to find a way I'm trying
to.
to make my life interesting in some way right now.
It's still tough in general because not just you, but we're still kind of in that pandemic thing.
Yeah, but that's sort of
way.
irrelevant to my problems.
Yeah. Why? There's plenty of production up, and there's plenty of things that you.
Yeah, everything's
be
back in
interested
full swing. Nothing is shut down because of pandemic.
Oh, I haven't been getting auditions. I thought.
Yeah.
Boy, I just realized I have not gone out for like anything. What time of year would have been pilot season? January. Yeah, I haven't been in a pilot season situation. It's over for me. What am I talking about? There's only a couple of roles for people 70 to 80 in the shows.
Exactly.
I'm going up against people like
You're going up
James
against
Caan.
You're going up against sassy black ladies at this point.
Well, at least television has moved on from that a little bit.
Yes,
from the sassy black ladies.
A little bit. But sassy black ladies do exist in the world.
They do. Yes, they do.
There's a 3-dimensional way to present a sassy black lady.
Yeah, that's true. I have a feeling this is one of those discussions that I'm going to say something stupid. I'm going to check my privilege and then go back and see if it's still there. I wanted to tell you this. I was watching a little John Wayne Gacy. Don't tell Susan, because really, there's no, she doesn't care. But the cop is talking about how, I don't know if you've ever seen the inside of John Wayne Gacy's house. It is just the most,
I never have. I was going to take a virtual tour.
No, I didn't mean like you were one of the guys. But he's really the worst in many. I mean, you can't compare evil, but he's just crazy evil. So but
the guy can paint. You got to give him that.
So that's what I'm saying. The guy goes through the house. He goes, and there were all these kind of clown paintings on the walls. What the policeman was saying, right? He goes, and he was kind of like going, not my cup of tea. That's what he was trying to.
Right.
He goes, look, it's just my opinion, but they made me a little nervous, as if he didn't want to weigh in on the technical ability,
right,
of John. And I mean, there's some of them. For example, there's John Wayne Gacy. He's he's painted something where the lips of the clown are all red, but then the red seems to go all the way down.
Huh.
That's part of the costume. Is the crazy red blood?
No, those
are
the tears of a clown.
Just like Pagliacci did, I try to keep my sadness hid. And now, I really wish I would read. Is it an opera?
Pagliacci, yes.
Yeah. That's not bad. Have you ever? You think there are people who think that's all it is, opera?
I think that is all it is. It's just a little better.
Well, sometimes when I hear, sometimes I definitely get opera.
Yeah.
I can hear the heartbreak and the pain.
Right.
And they're always up there like, oh, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to kill myself. But wait.
Unfortunately, you have to read that in the subtitle.
Don't tell me, show me.
Yes. I hate opera. I really hate it hard, actually.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I wouldn't go to it.
I find it oppressive.
All of those things. Yeah. All of those things I'm open to seeing. Like, I would go see a ballet, but I don't seek it out.
Right.
I just miss that part of life. But I shouldn't make a statement.
I would go to see an opera just so I could put my money where my mouth is on the I hate opera thing.
Well, that's like if you hate operas going in.
Yeah,
You're
no,
not
but I
gonna
mean, I
like
think
them.
there's an argument for have you ever actually been to an opera? No, I would have to answer.
No, I haven't either. I have not either. My favorite one is boo 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 boo. Your heart is broken. Where's the boo? Now, which opera is that from?
It's from the Godfather. It's from.
Oh, beep 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 beep. I tried to watch a show called.
We
Beep,
have a
Beep.
lot of funicula here.
We really do, folks. Don't get yourself. We have a lot of funicula. There's too much. I heard too much Sound of Music when I heard too much of it. I just don't like it. The doe and the deer and all the things.
That was a central conflict in my house growing up. Was my mother's love of Sound of Music and my father's hatred of it. Well, it's one of the first times I remember taking sides in my family.
Yeah, you have. Well, yeah. Well, the Sound of Music is based on. I don't even know what the story is. It's the Von Tromps, or they were raised. Are they decide to sing to scare the Nazis? Is that what it is?
I think that's it. It's a resistance effort.
And then none of them knew how to sing from life, so they all had to be taught a certain
Right. They each got a note. You're doe. Remember deer.
Well, I want to talk to the person who said, "I know to follow so." Get the fuck out of here with that.
That's not what it is. That's not what it says.
Wait a second. Doe, I know.
No, you're just saying it wrong. You heard it wrong.
No, I didn't hear it word. I'm just repeating it wrong. There's a difference between repeating it. If I sang to you, doe, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun, me a name, I call myself, far, a long, long way to run. Sew a needle full of thread. Something. I know every one.
Sew a needle pulling thread.
And why are you so? Well,
no, because
happy that you know the word.
No, it's a funny miss here. I know to follow so, as opposed to a note to follow so.
Oh, I definitely got the I know too. Because that's what you can do with a mnemonic device. I know it follows so. Yes. Until this moment right now, I have no idea.
Wait, were you today years old when you learned this?
Let me see if I got the rest of the wrong. Doe, a deer, a female deer, a drop of golden sun. Me and name will call myself fa. It's not a long way to run. It has an R in the end.
No, it's just fa. That's the pun.
Fa long. I can't think of the next one. What is it? T.
So, a needle pulling thread. Fa. La. A note to follow so.
Okay. Sorry I brought it up. Okay, but I'm glad that now that I won't be embarrassed at parties.
Right, but don't you think it was worth catching?
It does. I think it is worth catching it.
All right, thank you.
Because I won't embarrass myself.
Exactly.
In situations.
Someone meaner than me could pick that out of your little one man Sound of Music
true.
tribute.
Yeah.
Is that a creamsicle? Oh wait, we covered that.
What? I saw this show Peaky Blinders and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
I have not watched it.
Do you know what the premise is?
I know it just sort of seems like steampunk murder mystery to me. Steampunk
exactly what it is.
Steampunk bad guy.
And there's a poet guy who walks down the street.
Yeah.
And you shall be received from. I can't get too much. I don't like too much of that.
Yeah.
If he's a callback character of the guy who keeps coming back, and he's like, is he a wild man on the street? Is he a homeless person? Who knows? I don't even understand. Well, anyway, forget that. We couldn't get more than a half.
I know there's a razor blade and a hat involved.
Oh, yes, there are.
Yes.
There's razor blade. That's like the first thing they show you is that he has. Oh, great. So that's like showing me what could come up, which is someone's face is going to get sliced.
Sure. It's like Chekhov's hat.
Oh, so I just realized what the Peaky Blinders are.
Yeah.
Well, you can look out of the blinders. You can peeky out of them. And then they also have knives.
Don't try to.
How do you know?
Don't try to decode Cockney slang, Andy. It's way above your pay grade.
I think it's a lateral move from my pay grade.
No, it's not.
It's not the move.
It's not.
Well, it's certainly something I could know about.
No, it's totally above you.
Okay, you ready?
Sure.
Consider yourself a friend. Consider yourself part of the family.
That's way more French.
Oh, boy. Is that good?
It was more French. It was really more like your Maurice Chevalier.
Consider yourself. I know to follow so. I know to follow. Wait, which is the one I got wrong? A note.
You said
so.
I know to follow so, and I had to correct you.
I know to follow so. Do you think it's worse? I think the song stinks. So
Yeah.
I can't argue that my thing is an upgrade.
Right.
It's not an upgrade.
No.
But then you can't say a note to follow so is the greatest line since chipped
No,
beef
but
on toast.
contextually, it's better.
That bring actually
Because
I'm
they
not
are
gonna lie.
notes on a scale.
In my life, I have used do re mi fa in my own way to get to the fifth, so they get to the thing. I've used it as a mnemonic device, but not as that song. Because to me, why would you want a horrible, horrible song? As
Yeah,
a way to remember?
I never assign the words to the tones when I do it in my head. I will do da 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 da, but I won't go do re mi fa so.
Oh, I do that because it's just easy. It's like when I went to the Hitler Youth. You just learn it at an early age. It's like you don't even know it's that you're prejudiced. All of a sudden you're 10 and you hate the Catholics. Okay, that seemed better in my head.
And
Seemed
a flatted third.
A flatted third, which you know. Look, let me ask you. I know that you know what a flatted third, but you don't read music. I forgot what you said.
I do read music, but not to any practical application.
But but a flatted third, you know what it is.
It's a minor.
Yes. Flatted third. And then the other one I like is the Beatles chord where it goes, ba, 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 and they add the ninth, cha, 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 cha. They go, E to E, 9, 9, 9, 9. You know what I'm saying, right?
Sure.
It's like in that song. Who is that? Who wrote that song? Give me one thing and I'll be happy. I think Paul McCartney wrote it for that group.
For Badfinger?
Wait, Badfinger, was that a group that sung some Beatles? That's how young I am. Are they singing Beatles songs or were they related to the Beatles at all?
They were on Apple, and McCartney wrote Come and Get It for them. If you want it, here it is. That one.
That's a great song.
Yeah, and he did a demo, and they note for note re-recorded it.
Then what happened to the members of Badfinger?
Bad things, man.
Like one of them had a bad finger, I heard.
Uh-huh.
I never liked that name. For some reason that sounded like sexual or young kids.
That's isn't that perfect for a band name, though?
Well, yeah, but I was too young to have, I still think the Beatles, when it's all said and done, is the best name. Because they're little Beatles that were marching to the beat.
Huh. All right.
But if the Beatles weren't
seems like an argument one can't win.
You can't win because if you didn't like the Beatles, who would give a fuck about the fact that they were small little bugs that played the beat?
Right.
Right?
Sure.
It's not the name. I think you were arguing it's the name. Without the name, they would have been Herman's Hermits.
Which isn't a bad name.
That's a bad name, right?
No, I disagree. I think it's kind of their most redeeming quality.
Why were they so... I came from a section of England where I'm going to show my voice even more than I talk.
Because that was an actual thing in England. The music hall dandy was an actual character in England.
Oh, okay. I actually like when you can hear the voices in the song, but a lot of British people don't like to do that. They sing it out of them. Bowie, I don't think you could tell where Bowie was from. Where is Bowie from?
Space.
Is Bowie from the United States?
No.
Oh, okay. He's from England?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know his name was Jones.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to learn a little bit more about these bands, because I'm listening to these podcasts, like bands like Poco, and I knew Buffalo Springfield, but I don't really know much about Poco.
I don't know anything about Poco.
They're supposed to be good country music.
Huh.
You know. I'll let you know when I have more to say about it. I saw Val.
You saw, huh?
Val?
Val?
The Val Kilmer thing?
Oh, Val. Yeah, I saw that a while back, yeah.
You told me about that. I loved it. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Did you?
You know? Yeah, I thought he was great. I really did. I think he's an interesting person. And, I think, he obviously, I don't know how I don't know. I thought the whole thing was pretty cool. I'm not going to go to the wall for it and say it's the greatest documentary, but I really enjoyed a lot of it.
Yeah.
What was your take? I forgot what your take was.
I don't remember what my take was. Thinking back on it, it was a lot of, I remember like a lot of actors on set mugging for the video camera. That was that.
Yeah. But not so much of that. I mean, they showed Sean Penn. Oh, I see. You think the whole conceit was weird to you.
Well, maybe. I mean, it was just that, I think the main conceit was I shot all this tape over all this years, it seems like. Right.
But I think certainly you learned a lot about him.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know that
You didn't like what you learned about him.
I did. It just wasn't important to me. I thought it was okay. I watched the whole thing, and it was compelling. He was certainly a compelling guy, but certainly he brings a lot of creepiness to the table.
Yeah. See, I thought it's like weird. Maybe I don't know. I related to him. When he's talking about being on the set of Batman, how terrible it was. I mean, you can make the argument, well, that's big, rich people's mistakes, rich people's problems. But I was like, no, to me, that was interesting because a lot of my life, I go, oh, I wish I could have done movies. And it sounds like it's fucking hard and difficult.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he wasn't having fun as Batman and said so, I can relate to that. I know. He says that everything that was said about him, he probably was difficult. But when they go on that set and that guy who's trying to direct him, I really do think that there does get to be this adversarial relationship between the director and the actor, and it's almost always thought that the actor is crazy. So by this, I just didn't feel he's admitting that he had bad behavior. Not bad behavior, just great. But I thought everything that he was interested in, I could relate to it. I thought he was like, he's trying to make this interesting. I also got things that he said about acting. You put a little of yourself in it, you take a little of yourself out. It just, some of that stuff resonates to me. I think the other reason was because I was an undergraduate theater person. I didn't major in it because the courses were so got to me because they were like all like voice. But I really related to the fact where these people telling you suck, that's what they tell you in these classes. And so and then you could see him getting upset or early signs. It just was like, I haven't seen that in so long that I wish I'd known more about it when I was that age, that acting teachers do that. They all do that because it fucking really fucked with me. Mean people really fucked with me. I didn't respond to mean people, stuff.
Right.
Like the guy in Crash. What's it called? Crash Test?
I don't know.
Horrible.
Whiplash.
Yeah. Right. Like, that's my image of a bad guy.
Right.
And I never got to be, that's how I wish I had maybe you just don't because you're so young. You don't know, it's like I wanted to be an actor. I felt alienated.
Well, but you never know what it's motivated by when it's coming from an acting teacher, especially. You don't know if it's his resentment about his own thing that he's dumping on the students.
Right.
Or if it's the tough love thing of, if you can't take rejection here, you shouldn't be in this business.
Which is also a tough thing to say to do that to people. Like, if you think it's tough now, because the other side of that is, no, it's tougher now. You're worse.
Right.
Then, it's like, I'm already going to meet bad people. Wouldn't it be nice to have a couple of nice people who help me?
And that's the other, I mean, and the truth of it is you might not get the audition, but they aren't mean to you at the audition.
yeah, that's right.
If anything, they're falsely nice to you at an audition.
Well, except for like, when I would go out, except this is what really made me angry on commercial auditions. I think I told you that one of the last ones. Well, I still go out for them if they ask me, but I don't go out to do a commercial auditions. But it was like, no, I wouldn't go out again.
There's no going out to do auditions anymore anyway.
Right. And this was the thing where the guy was,
you self-tape everything now.
Right. Okay. Well, that makes it better, but I won't have to deal with that again. But the guy was like having me operate the camera. He wanted me to operate the laptop and act.
Yeah.
And he was getting mad at me. I told you this. And he's like, let's just get this fucking thing gone. He goes, come on, let's just get this fucking. And I was so angry that someone would talk to me that way. It was like, it was like, and I was 40 at the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I never bought that you should treat people like cattle, and I never liked it.
Right.
Have a little
shouldn't.
human decency.
Yeah.
But mostly, you're right, though. Mostly they weren't like that. Mostly they're not.
But commercial auditions are way worse than TV theatrical auditions. Commercial auditions tend to be way more cattle collie.
Yeah, they are.
Because it's so much about, nope, you don't look like what we want.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I did. So that's what that I bailed on real quick when I had a commercial agent. I was just like, no, this is demeaning and frustrating. That's when I was still using my Thomas guide to get around town to these fucking auditions.
Well, I had a commercial agent way more recently, which was the voiceover agent.
Yeah.
I made not dramatic. I made an actual push that I would go in on these, and I hated doing it. This was like when they were starting to transition, but I still didn't like doing it at home, so I like to go in. But it was just so it's a field that they're advertising to you. They could basically say, look, what this is acting, but you don't want to do anything too much.
Right.
And it's in a very, very narrow framework that we want you to work. And
at a very specific speed, because it has to be 30 seconds. Right. Yeah.
And of course I can make the argument, because the argument I would make is that the commercials I like are funny, but then I don't know if I buy the product from them. But ultimately, it's just it really starts to become wears on your personality.
Yeah.
Because it's also really, if you do it in the way that you're supposed to do it, like acting, I wanted to be an actor, so I go for everything, unless it was insulting.
Right.
But it just, there could be more originality in the field, but why, I'm not going to die in that mountain.
And in what field?
In the advertising field. Because they even say, you've heard the argument that even like the I can't believe I ate the whole thing, or whether you like that one or not, but if you did like them, that they don't increase sales necessarily. That's like what I don't necessarily buy that. I think if something's funny, you are going to remember it. Yeah, you might buy it.
Well, yeah, and I think, whatever the motivation for it is, companies generally won't stick with a campaign if it's not working for them on some level,
Yes. And so I always, the ones that drive me crazy, although I'm trying to become more, why am I upset about that, are these ones that, the one that really drives me nuts is, and I think you know this about me. It's not the regular, but it's these things.
Uh-huh.
It is these things. Is the guy Jack in the Box, because maybe I got the story wrong, but that he was the guy who was the advertising. He was in charge. It was his idea,
yes.
And he kept looking for the right voice, and he couldn't find the right voice, and then he found himself. I know I've mentioned this on the show before, but the point is, he's not that great. The commercials are not that interesting, and I don't necessarily believe that more people eating Jack in the Box because a fucking styrofoam head sells it. I think they just don't know, because they've only had this campaign for 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, is it hard in advertising to know more and more about it? It's still necessarily hard. It's not necessarily easy to go, why is Jack in the Box? How are those commercials working for Jack in the Box? I understand they're used over and over and over again, but how to say that's the effective way that would be to sell Jack in the Box?
Well, I don't know, because I haven't seen the numbers, Andy. I just haven't seen the numbers.
You haven't broken them down?
But, he's not an owner of Jack in the Box. He's an advertising agency exec. So clearly the people at Jack in the Box are happy with it.
Oh, he's a good salesman.
They're happy having something that's identifiable as their thing.
Yeah. It's terrible.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, maybe what if I love Jack in the Box? I don't have any.
The food or the
food. What if I love it?
You might, it might actually give you a bias to like the commercials more.
Because I don't like, I'm so upset about them replacing those two guys in the Sonic. I mean, I told you I've been boycotting.
I know. You had stock in those guys.
It's funny to me that I actually do still think, hey, those guys, I think about those guys. They don't even think about those guys anyway. They're happy that they had whatever they had, and they couldn't care less. It's moved on. I mean, they like the money.
Well, I think that becomes the actor trap, where
Yes.
it's like you get into a great campaign, and then in year 2, you're like, you've made a bunch of money off of it, but now you're that guy, and you start to worry about being that guy.
And it's a tough decision.
I'm sure your buddy who's the therapist for the people becoming their parents has worried about, am I that guy forever?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I mean, probably he's mostly happy with what's been going on, and he'll ride it as long as he can.
yes.
But then you worry when the campaign's over.
I think in his particular case, since he's kind of a character actor guy.
No. He was a bad example.
I just love an old thing that I keep trying to find, but I can't find it. It's an old commercial when I was a kid around Christmas, and it was a cartoon, and some guy was playing the violin. God rest you, merry gentlemen, and then the animation was so fucking great, and then the bird flies off. I can't find it, but then I haven't looked at it that hard. I look at it one.
You don't know what the product was, though.
Because it was like it was like for a thing that happened at Christmas.
The birth of our Lord.
But then, like I said, I look for it once a month, but then I don't know. If you don't put the right words in, you're just kidding yourself.
Yeah.
You don't type in, can somebody please tell me what this is? It's really driving me nuts. The more words don't help. Especially Google. Google is not designed.
No, Google actually is designed for conversationally based questions like that.
I have asked, if I ask a long question, it almost always says there are not good matches.
Yeah.
Look, I have a problem with my foot. It's hurting a lot.
There are limits.
Yes, there are limits, right. Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. It should be able to pick out the key words.
But if you were to say, like, who is that guy from the State Farm ad?
Yeah,
that would
be fine.
Yeah.
I feel sad that I would be that guy who would write that. Who's that? How do you like those commercials? Who is the guy from that? Did you see the Tonys last night? I know you did. So what was your favorite part of the Tonys?
I like Tony.
Well, Felicia Rashad. Is Felicia Rashad who was married to
Ahmad Rashad?
Cosby on the show?
Yes.
And she won an award.
Did she?
Yeah, and I just saw the tail end of it, but I was like, and they were cheering for her, but I thought she's kind of become like she's complaining about the anti-Bill Cosby things. She's mad about it.
She is a Cosby apologist, yes.
I think you really did sum it up exactly what it is. There's just no getting around it. It's just like I would think like...
Or a cospologist.
But you can't... There is so much overwhelming evidence that I would think a reaction would be, holy God, how did I not see this monster?
Right.
That's how I would react.
Yes, I think that's the proper human response. I'm not, as much as I love
Felicia.
Claire Huxtable.
Someone's claiming now that they don't show him at all from the 80s, even if they show that show.
A lot of people. Well, no, I mean they just dropped that show from there.
Oh, they have dropped that show.
So yeah, a couple of. I think
Louis
it
too,
still
right?
airs, but yeah, Louis doesn't.
Louis,
air
you can't see
anymore.
anything.
I don't know if they. I don't know if they stripped it from their web archives or anything. I don't think they did. I don't think FX removed Louis.
I watched Letterman. I enjoyed Letterman's. My Next Guest Is.
Yeah, I watched most. I think most or all of those.
I thought that was good. I love
the 20-minute format. It's the perfect way to digest a new comic. They bring him in the door with Dave, who you love already. It's like a 5 or 10-minute set, and then it's back to more Dave, who you like. It's very easily digestible new comic.
It really is a great format for a new comic, and the way I don't know if he's doing it by design, but he always does like a very old like if he's in California.
Yes.
He did like I'm over here in Rancho Melanoma.
Yes.
It's like I fucking.
You definitely could hear him do that at the store in 1977.
Yes, that's right. It's all. And the other thing I noticed with him was that that he says he doesn't think he was the greatest stand-up, although maybe.
I don't think he was the greatest stand-up.
He wasn't the greatest stand-up, but he was but when you see now him on stage, I would watch him.
Oh, no, it's fun to see him back and enjoying having an audience there. You can absolutely tell he enjoys having an audience in front of him again.
Yeah.
And
that part
was
was
going through the motions of what he does in front of people.
I would love to see him do stand-up whenever he does it. Or this format's great.
I don't know that he's willing to commit to anything enough to be real stand-up anymore.
But I tell you, though, I'm proud. I think he's done a good job of, if you look back now, I think he was right to leave the show for what the reasons were. And the reasons were that his son will never be this age again. He'll never have these years with him.
Right. But now he's playing it like they booted him and like he was forced out. And
Oh, does he really say that?
he did say it in one of those shows. I mean, I think.
Oh, yeah, but I thought it was a joke.
Yeah, he said, but in a way that people wouldn't understand it's a joke,
Right, I see.
But you can tell how much glee he's getting having bosses again. Like, because he made like 5 Netflix stock is crashing jokes.
Well, the fact that he had, I don't know who booked it, but the fact that he had he had a trans comedian on, to me was like, because as soon as I saw him, all I could think of was like the Netflix is a joke and how fucked up. Because I think Netflix is really, in a lot of ways, they're not single-handedly damaged comedy, but by having no idea what they're doing. And same thing with
But did you see how much programming they harvested out of this fucking festival they did last month?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But I think they look bad. I think these companies look bad. They look like, I'm talking about 2 companies. Netflix looks bad because ultimately I've always thought that they overpay, and they obviously do overpay. It looks like they don't know what they're buying. It looks like they're doing it just like, what's the company that picked up Rogan? It's the same thing as Rogan. They're not a great judge of comedy.
Right.
I don't see the eye. Maybe there's nobody who could come in and make programming there good. Or maybe their whole idea that would be how they would be different. Because they told me, I knew some of those guys, like not Reed, the other guy, Serranos, and they just, I knew they were trying to make programming early on.
Right.
Maybe there's nothing they could have done to avoid what they're in now, but they really, the decision to just embrace and overpay these fucking people, it's hurt them, I think.
Well, I think undoubtedly it's hurt them on some level. I mean, I think at first, in order to legitimize their platform, they had to bring big names. I don't think they had to pay $80 million for a stand-up special. I don't think they needed to pay what they did. But I think they were just like, they wanted to be they wanted to get the big creators. They wanted to get the big stars. And there was no model for this business, so they figured they'd just do their own, And
I think the model is,
and it worked for, you can't say it didn't work because they kept growing all those years. Now that it's crashed, you go, well, that's not a sustainable model.
No, I give them a lot of credit for streaming and all of this stuff. But the idea that, it's like, I think they were copying the Howard Stern model. I mean, it's the same kind of model
But I think that's what you have to do. If you are a new platform, you have to overpay someone to leave
Right, but the Howard Stern thing makes sense to
It's
me.
like that fucking Saudi Arabian Golf League has to pay these guys $500 million to come join their thing and fuck over the PGA.
Right, but I'm just saying that they did it badly. It's bad.
Well, I agree with that. I mean, they backed the wrong horses too. Fucking Ellen, they backed the wrong horses too.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Is like they had no idea what they were driven by greed, especially the Spotify people. That's just greed. That's just greed.
Yeah.
That you know nothing about the guy that you're hiring, because now all the things that they're saying are because they don't understand. They're just like Facebook. which they got away with it a long time. But these people are like, I'm just going to pretend that I'm not providing the content, so I have no opinion about the content.
Right.
And I think eventually, I mean, look, either Facebook will end up owning the world, or they'll end up being, they're already the most hated corporation on the planet, I think.
I don't know. Maybe just because it has so much personal contact with people on an everyday basis.
Yeah. And I'm sure anybody like me or you who's ever tried to get customer service from them, you can't. There's no customer service.
Because you're not customers.
Right. You're
the product. You're not the customer. Like
they had that commercial now where they show all the people dancing around how many people they've hired.
Right.
They go, we have all those people. We have more people here than the size of Toledo.
Right.
Here.
All worried about your safety.
It's so bad.
None of them answering a phone. All worried about your safety.
and it's like, this customer service. It's like AOL. That's what was so funny to me about AOL being the lead of that deal. Everyone by that time hated AOL. Everybody was sick of getting the millions of DVDs in the mail.
Right.
And they constantly wouldn't even let you off I used to be a customer. They wouldn't let you off the phone. They tried to sell you AOL service, back in the days when people did call up because they couldn't get it online. And then, so I don't know if there's any money in. I just think it's like you could see these things coming.
Well, it turns out the proper model is to trick people into being the product.
Yes.
To make people think they're customers when actually they're the product.
I think you're so right. And you're sorry because they on one hand they go, we have nothing to do with it. We're just people here. I just press a button.
But
That's
if anybody is offering you something for free, a service for free online, it is because you are the product.
Yes. Well, yeah. I can't think of but I think the thing about nobody could have predicted it, or it's just such a weird thing because it's been like a month and a half. I'm not going to go back to Facebook. I just want to figure out a way to kill the account.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that still bothers me is that the account is there.
Yeah.
But maybe that doesn't matter.
Well, can't you just deactivate it?
No, because someone has it.
Oh, it's still there and someone else is controlling it.
They're controlling. What do they, you can't find, the other thing that's good though, you can't find it from a search.
Oh yeah.
You can't find me there anymore.
No.
So, maybe I should just let it go. I think it's an OCD fear that they're going to find, Andy, is this you? Swimming in a pool with naked
children.
Elephants?
Say it.
What?
Children. Say it is what you're...
No. You say... No, don't say it. Okay, I was trying to think of something that would be embarrassing that wouldn't be at that level.
Is this your account spewing racist epithets at everybody, Andy?
That's the only thing that I was always inoculated against. I really never seriously worried that they would take... Well, first of all, I didn't have a job that an earlier tweet could bother me, but it happened to Sam Cedar when he made that sarcastic tweet about whatever it was, and they tried to fire him from MSNBC, and then the backlash was so great that he got his job back. But
I just looked at your Facebook profile here, Andy. It says Andy Kindler, super atheist.
Wait, that's what else?
You should really get this back.
No, Josh. What else?
Oh.
Can you find me?
I Heart Joe Rogan.
The thing is, I think you're looking around because I could hear sounds.
Doing a Sandler-thon this weekend.
I tried to watch that movie again and I couldn't even watch it.
Why? Why, Andy? Why?
Because I respect you.
No,
you like
I'm not recommending it. I'm just saying go away.
But you like basketball. I thought maybe there would be something in there. I like basketball too. I used to play basketball. There's nothing in the movie. The movie is so poorly written. And is he supposed to be married to Queen Latifah?
Yes.
Are those supposed to be, and his kids?
Yes.
Yeah. It's just like there's no chemistry in the movie. But I know what you're saying is don't watch it again.
Yeah, I am saying that.
Yeah.
And I'm saying you're a racist.
No, that was my fear, what you would say. There's a difference. You can't go right to the fear. I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't like that movie because you're a racist, Andy. No, just because I don't like a basketball movie? Yes. That's not right. I have black friends. I have basketball playing friends.
Just because you can't believe their chemistry-less marriage doesn't mean it couldn't happen.
Oh, God. You know, it is personal. I really can't stand him. And after all the things, it's like after the dust clears, I go, holy fuck, this guy is a fucking asshole bully. And here's how he acts. Big guy, yeah. He does the same fucking things he does as a bad comedian. Now I'm going too far because I did laugh at him once. Why am I so angry? Has to deal with me.
Why are we talking about this again is really my question. Yeah, this next one goes out to longtime Spiral listener Dana Schwartz on a happy occasion, reaching the big 7-0. That's right, he's that tall, folks. It's 65 degrees.
Find something to fight about. When life gets you down, you look for someone to push you around. You believe that you're the one who understands what's going on. You're always out looking for who did what to who. You got a chip on your shoulder, you just can't get over it. You have to punch it out. You say there's nothing else to do when everybody bothers you. And it would take too long to make you see where you went wrong. You put the blame for everything that you cannot explain on the people who smile and refuse to follow you. You were taught to listen to yourself and forget about everyone else. You don't talk it out. There's nothing anyone can say to make you think another way. You won't take the time to stop and look inside your mind.
I have to prove that I can take a sip of coffee.
Don't blew it already.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know there was an air raid drill. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was the 50s, and I was hearing the noon whistle.
Nope.
Nobody would know I'm drinking.
You blew it. I'm making a coffee transition right now to black coffee.
That's pretty cool.
It's a big move for me.
And are you doing it for not for taste though, right?
I'm doing it for diet purposes.
Eventually, I would argue, but we don't want to get into it. You will say this is better.
I'm hoping that. I don't think it's ever going to be my favorite.
I thought I would never want to do it.
But
I hated the idea of it.
I don't hate the idea of it, and I'm doing it fine. It's because I'm doing the latest fad diet, the intermittent fasting thing.
And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what that is. Could you give me a little update?
The broad stroke is basically, and I'm only really observing the broad stroke, which is you can only eat within an 8-hour window. So,
okay.
In my case, it's noon to 8.
Oh, you make your own window?
Yeah, as long as you're 16 hours off and 8 hours on, you can do it. But
right,
that's the most realistic. And the only adjustment really I need to make to do that is take the calories out of my coffee in the morning. And
okay.
I lose a snack. I lose like one snack after 8 p.m. I would say, on average.
What's your usual snack?
It doesn't. It varies.
Doesn't matter.
Varies wildly.
So is this one
usually
of these diets?
Usually it's a deferred dessert.
I have one joke so far.
Oh, good.
On the topic.
For your career. Oh, sorry.
Come on. That's not fair because it's too close to the truth. So here's the way this is the way I would do it.
Okay.
I'm fasting. Not fasting now. I'm fasting again with the intermittents. Now I'm back on the eating. Don't stop me when it gets funny. I'm fasting. Okay, now I'm eating. Stop me. I said stop me when it wasn't funny.
You said I said when stop it gets me. Funny. No, that's I thought we had the hour sewn up.
What is that? What am I doing there? Is that a way a cuckoo clock sounds?
It's the way it's the way a Woody Woodpecker clock sounds.
Oh, that's the way he sounds. I see now how kids can walk around and think it's fun.
It's pretty much the easiest cartoon impression a kid can pull off.
I just pulled this off. Is that how you do it?
Is Donald Duck choking on an egg?
Yeah. I do see how there's some air coming from the back of my lungs. Is that not right?
No, it's not a phlegm-based impression. It all takes place in the mouth.
But what do you mean? Like the front of the mouth, the middle of the mouth?
Literally the sides of the mouth on the other.
Let me see if I can see it. Yeah, but I can go like this too. You can,
but who's closer to Donald Duck? Neither of us are.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not getting it at all. Well, how do you make the? Okay, that's it.
It's the side of your tongue.
Okay,
both sides of your tongue. It's both sides of your tongue vibrating.
Many people have said that even though you are very good, that your Alice Rocky level of impressions, you're not a good teacher. Maybe you can't teach it like that. And maybe that's why Mel Blanc was the only one who had the successful cold reading class.
It could be. It could be.
You want to hear my
probably not,
what's it
but
called
sure.
when you have more than one? What's that?
Nothing.
What is it when you have more than one? You want to hear my catalog of cartoon voices?
Do I?
Okay. Well, you've heard the old man, right?
Sure.
The very old man seems to be probably 80 or so. Oh, youngster, my whole body's aching. That's my old guy. Then I do a Jew. Oh, what the fuck? You're a Jew. Hoo. That's all I got.
Well, that's all the dialogue you've come up with for Jew, which is weird to me.
Hey, stop spilkus on the spilkus and the plots and the simmus.
That was Andrew Jew Clay, wasn't it?
That's not an encouraging.
No, it rarely is, but it's a wait for it.
I did have an insight. I'm not going to get you up. Wait, what are we in the What are we in the middle of talking about? Nothing.
You were doing your cavalcade of characters. your ass menagerie, if you will.
Hey, Yogi. Hey, Yogi, what's going on? Hey, Yogi.
Why is he talking to himself like that?
I would certainly like
to keep addressing himself. He's a man of the bear of the people. He doesn't talk about himself in the third person like that.
I am Boo Boo. I am Boo Boo. I am looking for Yogi.
Gosh,
Have you seen Yogi?
Gosh, Yogi, that's a terrible impression of yourself.
Hey, look, Fred. I'm Barney doing Norton. No. Norton. No. He doesn't do Norton, right?
Barney Rubble is.
How does he sound?
Okay, Fred.
There should have been a cartoon lawsuit dangling into frame because Jackie Gleason could have, but he didn't because he's a nice guy. Maybe not. Yeah, I think he was a nice guy. What the hell am I going to do? But stop stealing from people like Jackie Gleason. It's annoying.
It really wasn't. It was obviously meant to be it wasn't an intellectual property minefield, is what I'm saying.
It was not.
No.
Oh, okay. So that's a made up after story, or not even a made up after story.
Yeah, it's not. It's if he was a bus driver, maybe he worked in a fucking quarry on a dinosaur.
Right. Don't get so upset. Jesus Christ, Josh. Would you relax? Fuck.
So tired. I'm so tired of this.
Someone got up on the wrong side of the line. Can I say one thing about you?
Show me where the alien showed up in the Honeymooners, huh? Hello, dum-dum.
I just want to give people a little insight into the Josh, Elvis, Weinstein, Andy Kindler. It's not a conundrum, but
the dynamic, perhaps?
The dynamic. That's right. So I say, I think Josh's impression, hey, I'm a little higher today. I think Josh's impression is that I roll out of bed and running to the mic. That's not what it's about.
Yeah.
If it was like that, I'd probably be easily less OCD on time. So I texted you at
9:45-ish, I think.
Yeah, I said, did we specify a time today? And you said, oh, I thought it was 10:30, but let's go now.
No, what I said was
3, 2, 1.
I said I assumed 10:30, but I can go as soon as 5 minutes.
And you know what that made? What it made happen? What you ensured happening was whatever time we were going to do, I was going to be 3 minutes late because I'm in a tizzy now.
Right, but I started with I'm assuming 10:30. But if it's better for you, is my point. We can go earlier.
The difference in our stories is I'm attributing motivation and energy to the text. You text like the Buddha. Well, perhaps Sunday. That would be lovely.
Yeah, but you're giving some sense that I had some impatience to my text.
No, I'm
whereas I was sitting here with the assumption, hey, 10:30 is good by me. But since you're asking if you want to go earlier,
that's a little Seinfeldy there. Hey, and I'm sitting there with 9:45 going, hey.
That's not Seinfeld. That's Morning DJ. You just did.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how Paul. I told you this a lot, and that's what I hold on to. Is Paul Feig said he liked the way I did voices. So I was like, he said you're really good at. I mean, that was a nice thing to say to someone who's probably not that good at voices.
Yeah, imagine Paul Feig saying something nice.
Oh, that hurt.
Well.
That one got in. Sometimes the ones you say...
You've never sat through auditions with Paul Feig and watched him make every actor feel like the king of Hollywood.
That's no good. But I think that I made him laugh sincerely. But what you're saying is that's a shtick that he would put on.
You make people laugh sincerely. That is not in question. I am the only person who's impervious to your whatever magic it is, your little elf.
You weren't
magic.
Impervious when we first started. All you tell people about was the guy, he starts out not funny. 3 minutes in, really not funny.
No,
10 minutes in.
You took that way too much to heart. I was just trying to justify you somehow.
Like you were pitching the show? Yeah. Look.
The phrase I said was he either talks until it's funny or that it's funny that he's still talking.
Right. And then we would say it's a
And I'm over
fire.
that now. That is so rear view mirror
That's
thinking
so rear
for
view
me.
mirror.
I know exactly when you're not funny now.
I think rearview mirror. One of these days, that's going to be in the rearview mirror of those because
I don't think
eventually,
there's anything wrong with that phrase. I'm not going to let you put a pall over that phrase.
Au contraire, my friend. You read. This is the guy who will not cop to anything. No, I was saying it was wonderful. Is what I was saying. Do you know I'm strolling tomorrow, and I don't want anybody. I'm not saying where we're going to be, and don't come looking for us.
Yeah.
It's going to be a funny image. Okay, if I was going to tell you I'm going on a stroll with a comedian, and that it was going to be a Mutt and Jeff situation, even more than me and you.
Yeah.
Who would you say it is? Mutt and Jeff.
I would say Eddie Pepitone.
No, tall. I'm saying tall.
Oh.
This guy's tall.
Tall.
I'm short, right?
Yes.
But for the Mutt and Jeff thing to really work, it's really good with like, it used to be funny with the guy who went to January 6th. He would, Jay Johnston.
Yeah.
We did that funny at parties. Before I knew he would kill me for being a liberal.
Yeah, I don't know. Gary Goldman.
That's exactly right.
Wow. I just knew he was in town.
He's in town. And
Say
Alex,
hello.
I love him. Alex has been booking. It's not booking. He's been booking our stroll. I don't even understand. It's the one most. It's wonderful. But then I said, you know what? I also have Gary's number.
Yeah.
I can go right there. You know, I appreciate it. Is it the image that he's too big to deal with it, or I'm too big to deal with it? We have people who deal with it.
Yeah.
I
think Gary's enjoying the luxury of having someone to make calls.
Yeah.
For.
It's so good. So it's going to be, and I'm going to have to fool him into thinking he's not walking at a snail's pace.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 3 miles an hour is a lot for stretch.
Oh my God. This guy is like a catalog, a Rickles-like catalog of all of his slights. Oh yeah. Remember that time you said you walked a healthy clip? I still think 3 miles an hour is a stroll, is a decent stroll.
Yeah. Okay. It's great. It's perfect if you're racing a hare.
All right. Now we're going to argue. You can't deny that
I can't walk half a block. So what's your fucking?
No. Are you arguing that I'm not in shape? Because believe me.
No, I'm arguing that you move slowly.
Yeah. He got me on the other side. Coming and going. He gets you when you're coming and you're going. That's a good insult comic. Boom. Hey, how you doing? That's a nice hat. Where'd you get that from? From Goodwill? What would be less than Goodwill? Goodwill minus?
Badwill?
No. Not. What'd you say?
Badwill? Yes.
Hey, that's a nice hat. Where'd you get that? Badwill? Come on, this could be the first time someone's done that joke. You did it again, my friend.
At least since Maury Amsterdam died.
Hey, you better get working because we might be doing a hologram in 3 weeks. I might be doing this show as a hologram because Howie Mandel. Do you believe that Howie Mandel said, what do you mean, Andy? Well, I know he has mixed feelings about it.
I would hope.
He does have mixed feelings. He follows me on the thing.
Yeah.
But he has, and we work together uncomfortably.
I remember you telling me that. His and considering that history of ridiculous underpayment proposals, I'm not sure that this one's going to work out either.
But do you remember the bit he did though? The famous bit that he did when I came into his house?
No, I don't remember that offhand.
He was like that. He was talking with his lips, but the music was really loud.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Nice to meet you. How's everything going?"
That's funny.
And I think that he did not like that I wasn't doubled over going. No, that's not true. He didn't expect that, but he expected something.
Yeah, you probably should have given him something.
I am never rude. That's one thing that I think you even if I was with Hitler, I would say, can I get you a nice,
No, I believe that's true.
So I was trying to be nice, but it was it was like, how do you react? Sometimes someone can go for something, but you went for something that I'm sorry, you're just not going to get the reaction because it's not that funny.
My guess is that you gave him a insincere fake laugh.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Yes. That's hurt me in many projects. He's good. Howie's funny. Actually, Howie is funny, I guess, every once in a while, right? I don't know. He's a very good actor on St. Elsewhere.
I think sum total for his life, funny, I'm sure. But
funny. But that's not the point. The point is,
it's been years since I've found him funny. How about that?
I'll do the joke. Even this year, I'll do the joke again that we both have OCD, but we have a different kind. He has the kind that renders him unfunny. No, he's never heard me do that joke.
Yeah. I think by showing up as a hologram, you are out OCDing Howie Mandel.
That's so funny because what you're saying is exactly what he must have said was, I get why he's not coming. I don't want to leave my house either, right? That's got to be,
right.
He must relate to me and go, that's a man after my own fear.
Right.
So, but I'm also thinking he's going, it's a staple on the festival. Maybe not, right?
I bought this festival and I bought it with the State of the Industry address intact.
I didn't buy it. I'm not getting the whole festival.
This is
What's
damaged goods.
You know what? We'll have to say that, that it's not easy to hurt my feelings, right?
No, it's really hard. Really hard.
It's like, if you don't like me, I dig it. I get it. But I expected something from Montreal. Bruce Hills, one of the people to go, oh, sorry, buddy, you're not going to make it this year. I heard nothing. That's why I'm surprised this is happening. It was like, to me, it was like, if you ever are caught in that thing where you're going, I wonder how they'll feel without me, that's the wrong thinking to do.
Right. You can't do the Tom Sawyer's funeral thing.
I hope I'm not going to die. And the only thing is I don't put any smoke in my lungs except for the pot.
That's good.
What did you say the other week? It made me laugh. But you called it Banaka. What are you with the Banaka?
The weed Banaka. Oh, I hope I'm high enough to meet this person.
You have to, first of all, it's a very great joke that you have to add. I know you don't think you're doing stand-up ever again, or neither of us are.
No, I just don't think anyone wants me to. It's really it's a different thing.
But that is a great joke. How high do you have to be? I hope I'm high enough to meet this person. You won't forget that, right?
No, especially now that we've called it back.
I'm going to get ready for the letters. I'm not saying we're going into it. I'm just going to get ready.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. This is fun. So the daddy took his hoo-hoo away. Am I right about that? It's my daddy's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Larry.
My daddy was born on
today, June 16th.
June 16th, 1926.
Wow.
And my mom was born June 30th, 1929. Hello?
Hello.
Is anyone still there?
Yes.
And so that's not really old.
Not unusually your mother's birth would be presaging a crash. I don't know. I was just trying to get something in
there. That could be my favorite moment of someone who's, as almost saying it, is not in the mood to continue the thought. Is that what you were? I don't know. Something like that. But dang.
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
Pickle says, this is from 528. Is that still kosher?
Yeah.
Was Pickles write him for the month and go out of town?
Well, I think that they're addressing that very issue right here.
I just want everyone to know, I don't care if my question is first. I send one in when it occurs to me, and don't send more than one for each show. So if Bloopies wants in first, go nuts, Bloopies. Is that also making fun of the person by messing their name up?
Yes. It was a great blend of passive aggression, and it was a good leadoff question, despite its topic.
And it's a slam of boopsie, right?
Don't call it boopsie.
You can only say that if there is also a boopsie. Otherwise, you don't have to make the.
Right. Dan Marsh says, "Hey guys, Andy, when have you felt the most like Josh? And Josh, when have you felt the most like Andy?"
I think during sex, but I love to talk about sex with men. It's almost suspicious. Why does he keep talking about sex with men? It's kind of malicious.
I think I probably felt most like Andy that time I was plummeting towards Earth off a bridge.
I felt much like Josh the one time I went windsurfing and I was getting it. And I was like, whoa, I'm back to, what would Josh, how would he take this thing?
That's very flattering. I take mine back now.
I don't know what windsurfing is, really. I read it in an article. Is it when you go off a cliff?
Windsurfing? No.
Yeah.
No, it's surfing.
That's cliff diving.
Surfing with a sail, basically.
Oh, okay. And then pulled by a boat?
No. Pulled by the wind with the sail.
I always try to think, could I be a world-class windsurfer? Is it by a boat pulls you, or you got to do it yourself? Let me know. All right. Oh, it's over. This is the big one. Are you going to do Dan Marsh, or are you?
I did Dan Marsh.
This whole time, I had a self-satisfied. This fucking asshole doesn't even know that it's his turn. How do I deal with these unprofessional? You
don't have to do the Prush because we did that last week.
Okay. Wookie Talkie says, Casey Kasem did the voice of many cartoon characters. Which one do you think would do the best top 40 long distance dedication? The song is You're the Inspiration by Chicago. That's the worst. Kind of a good Mark. Okay, so one. Okay, how does this go? I'm already lost.
Of the four voices that he did, with either Mark from G-Force, which I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, which I do know. Robin from Super Friends, which I do know. And Peter Cottontail, which I don't really know the voice of. I assume it sounds a little like this.
Wow, this is a tough one.
Gee, Batman, on America's Top 40. Here's Chicago's You're My Inspiration. All the way from Gotham City.
This is a tough one, though, because I don't care about it.
Yeah, it is. You lose interest as you go.
I'm going to say Mark. Well, I'm going to say Mark G-Force, just guessing.
Okay. BD West says, Andy, walking at a 4 mile per hour pace, I can be a Kenny and Zooks in under an hour. First, can I drop your name and get a complimentary Meshugaletta? Furthermore, is a truly great sandwich worth dodging bullets, scores of tents, and the deranged and demented along the way?
Is that a comment about the part of town it's in?
I believe it's and the state of Portland in general, because I've made the walk to Kenny and Zooks from about a mile away myself years ago.
Did it feel dangerous?
Not then, but I could see how that alley would sort of. There was part.
Oh, you're talking about the general stuff that's going on in Portland.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh.
And the answer to your question is yes. A sandwich is worth all those things.
Right. But I will say that when it comes to the scores of tents, I will say, not to be too serious, but there was a pandemic, and there's going to be more people who are homeless, and it's not a crime to be homeless. So don't buy into that Caruso shtick. Hey, vote for me. All of a sudden, there won't be homeless people. What's not to like?
Right.
Are you doing the next one, or is it me?
It's you.
Stephen Elton Yates. He swings like a rusty gate. That's what my father would say about the Mets. Batters, they swung like a rusty gate. I am mortified that my question last week was accidentally impertinent. Hot sauce. I can only apologize and try to ask a better question next week. Well, what about this week? Huh? I'm steamed about this. Bruce? You're not Bruce.
That's how mad you are.
I'm so mad. I think I'm my manager. Or I think you're my manager. Stephen, we always are delighted by the eccentricity of your question.
Nice save.
It is weird because I know you're observing me, right?
Yes.
So, and I know when I make coffee so well that it's, I make it so well timed that it's scalding hot if I take the first sip without allowing it to cool down a bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I feel so healthy because I drink black coffee.
There's a stain on my notebook where your coffee cup was.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Now you're gone, and I'm here with a friend. A stain on my toothpick. I do my finger on my ear for the attitude, and then my wife kills me because I'm screaming at 10:30. Oh, okay, sorry.
Jason Boom Boom Mancini Parton says, given our, and by our I mean your conversation last week about the sun, I'd like to share that a sign on Mount Fuji has a specific warning which reads, "The sun is a powerful adversary." I think we can all agree that's a damned honest sign.
I absolutely believe that. And I get nervous when I forget to put my sunscreen on when I take my 40-mile walk every day.
You should. It's like you're turning it into a Bataan death march.
But you're saying less of the tan. Get it? Get it? I took the word
it's
Bataan.
It's the burned death march.
Do you have anything to comment on this?
I think we didn't we?
No, you specifically. Is the word? Do you have anything Pacific? I'm so good. Eastside 76 says, growing up in a Spanish-speaking household, some phrases were odd to me when I read them in English. For example, assless chaps. For the longest time, I thought they were British dudes with flat asses.
Wow,
Eastside 76,
that must have been socially crippling.
Hey, looks like somebody was looking a little too much at British people's asses. Why, Andy? Are you saying it's a crime to be gay? No, I'm just saying it's unusual to look at. What are you, a Piers Morgan fan? That was the worst laugh. That was the worst. What kind of laugh is that? Like, what is? I can't believe this person breathes.
No, it wasn't a disgust laugh. It was a delayed acknowledgement laugh, I think.
I'll tell you, there's nothing more. I know something positive is going to come out when you go, no, that's not it. It's because you're ugly. Well, I haven't gone too far now, have I?
No, it's great.
Okay. How long are you going to do bits like that? No, I'm really enjoying it.
Rodney Elton Rippey says, caught up on all the episodes and they are great, but I'm left with a nagging question. How do you repair an indoor ice dispenser? The trays will fill with water, but it never seems to drop. It's a Kenmore. I have a Phillips screwdriver and a blowtorch, if that helps.
Well, you're bringing up something that my the wife and I talk about a lot, because my wife, well, first of all, we have a terrible refrigerator. But we always talk about, she always says, it'd be nice to have the ice thing. And then we get into not an argument, a discussion about the filters, and that you put a filter in the wall and how good that is, and then we both fall asleep.
Yeah.
You have an ice maker.
I do.
And do you find it to be, and do you hook it up to clean ice? I mean, like distilled or something water?
There's a water filter that you replace within the fridge.
Right, but don't people forget to do that? And 7 years later, it's Love Canal?
Yeah, that happened to me, and I paid a guy, the cranky Russian guy, which is what you get when you have a refrigerator problem in the valley. And he's like, it's not getting water. Call the plumber. And then I changed the filter, and it was getting plenty of water.
Cool. And then it's easy to change the filter, right?
It is. It's screw out, screw in.
And is it like a Brita or just a standard?
I have a Sub-Zero, so it's a Sub-Zero thing.
Oh. Well, I never heard of that. Is it zero water?
No, Sub-Zero is the name of the refrigerator.
You say like I should know. It's a homeowner thing, right?
No, it's a common high-end fridge.
Whoa!
We talked about this early in the pandemic when I had to replace it for like $12,000.
I didn't know it was actually called Sub-Zero.
Yes, that's the brand.
Oh, okay. I have a DeLonghi. I was trying to think of a brand that's fancy, and I watched the HGTV shows. I can't think of one fancy brand right now. They always say these are Elton Erickson
All right.
things.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not in real estate. Christopher Citro says, bopped around tonight to Steely Dan's Can't Buy a Thrill on our kitchen 8-track player I found in the garbage last summer and fixed up. Andy, any cherished 8-track tapes you remember owning back in the day? Josh, have a fondness for any obsolete technology?
Thank you for excluding me from the 8-track generation. I appreciate that.
Well, I had 8-tracks the first time around. So I remember when they were new and we had bookends on 8-track. That's the one I remember in the car.
My dad had a used, I think 1972 Chrysler New York Brougham, which was this fucking huge car. And that was what they called the hardtop convertible model, which meant there was no door posts between the windows. And it had an 8-track player. That's the only 8-track player we ever owned in our family. And there was a Fifth Dimension 8-track in the glove box.
Up and away and the whole thing.
That whole thing, yeah.
And was it a nice ride or was it frightening?
No, it was a big land yacht. It was a big boat of a car. My dad liked it.
Was your dad big?
My dad was a big guy, but not commensurate with the size of the car. I mean, he was
Wow.
a normal-sized man in an abnormally large car.
See, I always go the other way. Give me a tiny car so I look like a normal-sized person.
I like a tiny car so I can do the sight gag when I get out.
Yo, 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 yo.
I went minimalist.
You did a good job.
Yoshi says Dennis Miller. I think I did the 8-track, didn't I? No, maybe you did. Whatever the case.
Were you trying to gaslight me?
Here's Yoshi Yamamoto. It already sounds sarcastic just because the first two words are Dennis Miller. Dennis Miller stepped down, we think, from his Russian TV show after the invasion, but 90-year-old William Shatner is standing tall with his RT contract. By the way, can't believe some of the big guests Miller landed, not just horrible right-wingers. They must not know him.
What they do is, I'll throw Julia Sweeney in there. There's a lot of people I'll throw Julia Sweeney in there, just because sometimes I get angry at her politics. But she went on the Dennis Miller show. She's like, "Thank you, Dennis. What a wonderful time." I think that's the way he gets people who are in show business who just don't know that he's the worst human being in the world, or choose not to know it.
Well, and who were on Saturday Night Live at the same time as her.
Bingo. Yeah, that's true. I guess that's probably how they know each other.
Probably so.
I tried to do this last week.
Warps your head is what I go with.
Warps your head is what he goes with. That's not the right one. Warps your head is what you goes with. I like to say
you clarified and made it funnier somehow. I don't.
I like to say I'm going to the bathroom raw if I go in without my phone. I also drive raw. What should we call it if you don't use your phone even as a passenger in a vehicle? Can it have a cooler name than car sickness? I don't know, but they know when you're driving and they ask you if you're not driving, and you better say you're not driving if you aren't driving. You better say you're not driving.
The one thing I can't stand is when the passenger boots up the map app.
That's
Yeah.
bad.
Like if you you hit the tiniest bit of traffic and say, let me look at Waze. Like, no, fuck you and your Waze.
Oh my God, that's got to be the worst feel. That's not what you enjoy.
That's not what I enjoy.
No one's done that with you.
You know what I don't enjoy is instruction of any kind.
That's why you have the 3-legged couch. Legged couch? Yeah, that works.
Yeah, no, that was right. I mean, it didn't work as a joke, but it worked as a sentence.
I wasn't trying to make it a joke.
J. Annis Films, or J. Annis Films, or Janus Films, however you want to read it. Since I know he listens, can I compliment Ben Lee here? His choices for quarter-century classics were great. How he makes Goldheart his own is impressive. Can he do Thought Spiral classics next?
He can do anything he wants.
That's right. He's Ben Goddamn Lee is what he is.
Ben Goddamn Lee. He can take over the show.
That's right.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, the show. I mean, that's a very important position.
I think he has his own partner and success.
He has a podcast now. What is it called?
It's with his wife, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
But I'm looking forward to listening to the new tunes. This would be how I would be as a disc jockey. We've got some tunes coming up in the next hour. We have Airplane Tull, Jethro Airplane Tull is not the name of a group, right?
No, it is. It's the name of several, actually.
Sous Vide says, I'm having steak tacos and queso fundido for dinner tonight. What did you have for dinner last night? We had tamales.
We had spare ribs and corn.
Was it spare ribs and corn from you?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. I like baby back ribs, too.
I prefer the spare rib.
What a genius I am. He can't even deal with them. I'm so good. I don't like these 2-part things. Can you do it?
I don't even see the one that you're referring to.
Oh, you probably blocked it.
Julian Valentich?
No, Smarmy of Darkness.
I don't have Smarmy of Darkness.
All right, you go straight to Julian. Should I do Smarmy?
Sure.
I can't. Okay. All right. It's a 2-pointer.
All right.
I
think
one
I think that's someone who has their tweets, their account locked.
Oh, yeah, I can tell. It says that.
And I'm not a follower.
Smarmy of Darkness says, after living apart from my family for a long time, I finally saw some of them again. When I apologized for being estranged, they insisted that I wasn't. I said, I don't know. Every time I talk to my Mexican friends, they always say, you are one estranged man.
Wow. That was...
They didn't even, we're on to 2 now, they didn't even give me a groan. Do you have a favorite joke that you thought would kill but fell flat? Half my material. I think that worked because you made me do it.
Yeah.
And I was surprised.
Yeah. Well, it didn't encourage me to try to get past the security on the account.
Now, you know what I'd like to hear you do? Julian how do you say his name? Valentich.
That's how I say it.
Okay.
A Klay Thompson impersonator has been indefinitely banned from the Chase Center after sneaking in before an NBA Finals game. Andy, Klay plays basketball.
That's mean. I'm not basketball stupid. I can name everybody on the 80s Lakers. I just don't watch today.
Where have you been? Where have you guys been banned from? Thanks for your continued spiraling. Well, show business.
I have been banned from hosting the Oscars. I can't fucking believe it.
Yeah.
How long has it been now?
Forever? Richard Cole says, summer starts next week. You're both from the north. Did you ever consider living and working in New York? Was escaping winter part of what drew you to California?
I wanted to, I mean, I was really, went to college, and my director friend, he lived in LA. He convinced me to come out here. And I really didn't know what was going on. I just felt the impressive presence of my parents. And they weren't even oppressive, but I thought I just felt like it wouldn't be good if I didn't leave.
One day I'm going to shake the dust of this town and see the world.
I still say, Josh, if I had grown up on the Upper East Side or the Upper, you know what I'm saying, I'd have had a different view of, I can't believe I'm leaving New York.
All right.
It's so wonderful. But that didn't happen leaving from Flushing.
All right. I totally would. I would today still work in New York if someone could pay me enough to make me to make it a worthwhile venture. But I turned down 2 jobs in New York early on. I turned down Rosie O'Donnell wanted me to be head writer of her talk show when it first came on.
Wow. I remember that.
And I had just left later, and didn't want to do another talk show really, which is also why I turned down the Letterman. But that would have just been a staff writer job. And
I keep forgetting you turned down the Letterman's job.
Well, I don't know that it was ever an offer. It was an inquiry. It was.
I get you.
Is he available? And I just couldn't do it. I had like 3 guys on my staff over the previous 2 years who had come from Letterman and were just like PTSD from it. It was just an unpleasant gig apparently. But I was glad they offered me because it was kind of my dream gig. Going into show business.
That's
so
cool.
At least I had a shot at it. But the Rosie thing was because it was right when I was moving in with Allison, and it would have been totally uncool to go, hey, let's move in. Okay, I'm off to New York.
Yeah. Wow. Oh man.
And I didn't leave. I left Minnesota because of I needed to be in show business and come to LA. It wasn't a winter dodging thing.
I loved the winter because I had a idealistic, what's it called when you have a utopian or something? Or I loved the winter because I only related to it as a young student not going to school.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in Minnesota where the winters were rough.
They were rough.
So
I don't miss the winters, but I wasn't, it wouldn't have ruined my life to live with winters every year.
I do miss 4 seasons, but again, only in the dreamy way of I'd be in the cabin during the winter in my beautiful snowbound thing. So
yeah,
it's not real. John Dunbar says, I heard an older episode of Patton Oswalt's podcast with Amy Mann and Michael Penn as guests. Patton goes on about how hilarious Andy was on their acoustic vaudeville shows. Can Andy share any tales from those days? If Andy listens, be forewarned. They praise PTA. I don't really have a problem. Well, why would they slam PTA? What? And are you sure it wasn't damning with faint praise? It could be that sometimes.
No, I could see how, in the rear view mirror, you would be funny.
Well, okay, I'm done with this question. That was good. You won that round. On to the next.
Do you have any acoustic vaudeville show stories, though?
I don't know who this is.
Don't answer it.
Right. But I don't even want to.
Hi, Tommy Mandel.
What's the 530 area code?
I have no idea. Spam.
Do you know how
Spamville?
Do you know how scared I am of this phone? I don't want them to know that I rejected the call. That's how scared I am of the phone.
I understand. Is it done now?
Yeah.
Okay.
My career?
Who? Seth Dick the Third.
Oh yes. Oh wait, I never answered.
Oh
right?
yes, acoustic vaudeville. And
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of. Did you say regale us?
Yes, I did.
Okay, no, it was really fun. But all the comics who did it were fun. All the comics who did it, because Amy and Michael had a great sense of humor. They're funny themselves. And that's the conceit that they had for that show. So Patton was great. Paul Tompkins was great. And yeah. Can you cut out most of that?
No.
I think I wasn't my best work.
No, I think it was your best work. That's the sad part.
I'm sorry. Are you going to do Seth Dick Third because you have a certain relationship with him?
I do.
I'm making that up.
Okay. As long as you rescind.
I rescind that.
All right. Seth Dick III says Mama Dick III is preparing her will and wants to leave something for Thought Spiral. Should she leave it to you guys individually? A tax shelter? A third LLC? She says don't spend it yet. She's as strong as an ox. All I know is I like this new antidepressant she's on.
Well, Seth, you wrote, that was so well conceived that I actually for 1 second started to fantasize about what I would be getting in someone's will. But then I realized I don't think Seth Dicker's third is real.
Yeah.
I don't think Mama Dick. No one is named Mama Dick.
Yeah.
And I think he's trying to pull the schmeckle over our schmoople.
All right.
And that's all I'm going to say.
That's your tip-off to a rip-off.
Anything but.
Dan Marsh says, what's the best career advice you received from someone other than a family member? I certainly didn't get good career advice from a family member.
I can't remember any good career advice I've gotten from, I think I've gotten good career advice. Al Lubell gave me the best career advice. You're getting last with the material, but is it good material? You know, talking about sex, is that the best material? Yeah, so I'm sure don't you think a lot of
that's
comics?
sort of like, is it funny I'm getting calls?
But, I've had a lot of people, comics give me, people in general.
I think
have
one of the
said
best
things.
pieces of TV writing advice was always take money over title.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's why I didn't go for the assistant. Bang. BD West is back, Josh,
Yeah.
and says, Andy, you sounded like Ken and Bob on the Ken and Bob Company in the morning. Andy, what are your thoughts on rigmarole? I'm already assuming Josh is beside it.
Huh.
I don't get the beside it. Can you explain that part?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Rigmarole. Are you over it? It's a whole rigmarole,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I don't know what beside it would bring us.
Beside it. You know what, BD West? You fooled us.
That one might
you got
not,
it.
That one might not make the show.
I'm sorry, BD West. Hey, can you take us home at least for this segment of the show, Josh?
Yeah. Oh, is there another to follow?
I have somebody named Romy. Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to do a reading today.
Oh, right. I am. The Riot Act. Romy says, Andy, your willingness to own up to your feelings with humor while Josh mocks you is bittersweet. Also, I'm impressed that you can explain Einstein's theory of relativity in a past test show, but didn't know birds are animals. P.S. Aerosmith canceled tour.
Well, I don't get the Aerosmith part. Was that?
I don't know. Maybe because of COVID? I don't know.
Thank you. And Romy, I appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
Will you stop mocking me? I'm trying to read the Jesus Christ, Josh. You can't let it go for 1 fucking second while I'm trying to read the guy's thing? Bitch. Shtick.
That's it. He put down his phone. That's it. It's over.
Well, look.
You dropped it like a mic, which was weird, I thought.
Fuck that noise. Are we still buying cups of coffee? Is that still possible?
It is. The best way to do it would be going to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral and leaving us a little present. I'm drinking it black now, by the way.
And what's the best way for someone who wants to hang up on Andy? The best way for that to happen?
It's to stretch it out, I think.
Oh, so in other words, don't do it when he wants it.
No.
Don't hang up.
No.
When
As I said, I
for
don't
him.
take instruction well.
I know. So that's the way you can't do it now.
I won't do it
because
now.
I'm all over you. Okay,
Exactly.
well, what is happening? What do you think
Maybe you
about?
need to take a part of the show on yourself. Maybe you need to take some responsibility.
Okay, all right. I'd like to now talk about some of the things
man,
that
at least to have a sentence ready to go.
Okay.
Before that you're going to cut off.
All right, I'll try it.
All right.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I'd like to introduce a new part of the show now.
Okay,
Very
now
excited
put your
about
finger on the button.
Memories of my mother.
Stop using your hands and use your one hand for the button. That's how this works.
Oh no, I thought you were going to hang up. I love to talk about sex with men. It's almost suspicious. Why does he keep talking about sex with men? It's kind of malicious.